This is a quick lesson to discuss some just practical stuff. When we talk about these statements, these conditional statements, we need a way to make it simple and fast to work with them. And you're going to need that too when you're solving a problem. So when you're manipulating these statements, rather than write them all out, we want to get them into symbol form so that you can have something that quickly represents the meaning of that statement. You understand what it means, but it's something you can work with easily. We'll also quickly introduce negative conditions in this lesson where you're being told something's not true or not happening or not occurring, what have you. Here's a simple if-then conditional of the kind we've been working with. In a few lessons, you're going to get into looking at statements that aren't written in this form, but they're still conditional statements. But here we see the if and the then that we're very used to. So we know how to work with this by now. We know that this is the sufficient condition, this part right here, snowing, and then this back part here is the necessary condition, right? Now, if I wanted to make this a little more compact so that I could work with it easier, I could just change it to snow, then Justin ski. And it still means the exact same thing as this. I've just written it smaller. And if I want to go even smaller, and you'll see us do this a lot in lessons, I could just write S, then J, S. Snow, then Justin skis. The meaning's totally the same. I've just gotten it into symbol form, so it's much easier to work with. You'll see later that there's good practical reasons for doing this. So say, for example, we had the additional rule that if Justin goes skiing, Evan will too. I could put that in abbreviation form, and now I can see that that can just get added onto the back. And we haven't looked at adding rules together yet, but you get an idea why abbreviations work much faster than having to rewrite this big bulky rule when you're doing various operations, inferences with these rules that we'll look at in a little bit. Now let's add in a negative condition. Here you notice that if it rains, we're told that now something's not going to occur. Justin will not go skiing. When we abbreviate that, we could start with a slightly longer form, right? Rain, then Justin not ski. Apologies for my terrible handwriting as usual. But, much simpler is to just get into a really quick abbreviation. Rain, then not JS. And then this not works a lot like a minus sign, right? It's just telling us not Justin ski. It's very similar to another non-negative conditional, except we've got the little minus sign, the not added on there. And we can make that even simpler. You might see me do this sometimes, but it means the same thing, not JS, just a slash over it. Okay, so now you know some abbreviated ways to write the same statements out using some symbols. This will make these statements much easier to work with later on, and you've taken a first look at negative conditions.